Today, the North Carolina General Assembly finalized maps for the state's legislative and congressional districts. Districts must be redrawn every 10 years to represent the latest census data. So what does all this mean to you? Where will you vote? Do you need to re-register? How do you register? It can get overwhelming pretty fast when you think of all the questions that folks are asking. Guilford County Board of Elections Director Charlie Collicutt is here with us to answer your election questions. So here's what you do. You get those questions to him by texting those questions. The number is 336-379-5775. Again, this is text only, so please don't call. All right, Charlie, so it came down just about a couple hours ago that the new maps have been approved, and now everybody goes, okay, do I vote somewhere different? Who am I voting for? How am I going to know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're here. We've been waiting for this. Also, still waiting on some county commissioner and school board maps too. But I think from your question you just asked, the main takeaway is, where do I vote? Where you vote doesn't change. You're still going to vote in the same school, church that you've been voting at, and unless that were to change at some future date, but not from redistricting. If you vote early, we'll have those schedules out closer to the election. But redistricting does not change where you vote. It changes the districts that you may vote in, and it may change who you can vote for, but not where you vote. So we're glad we've got them. We can start processing and getting this information ready, so we can let you all know and then have the election in March.
All right, so when it comes to folks going, okay, I don't know who's now representing me, that kind of thing, what part does the Board of Elections play, and then what part does the voter play of their own responsibility of figuring it out?
Yeah, we both have a responsibility. We're going to do what we can on our end, from whether it's our website or other technological ways to let the voters know that they can come to our sites, come to our resources, and figure out who they vote for. What are their new contests, whether it's U.S. House, State House, Commissioner, School Board, interactive maps that we can have, and old-fashioned maps on our website. We're going to try to send out the cards that everybody's used to getting. That's a little complex because there's so many different bodies redistricting right now, and finding that sweet spot of when they're all done, so we can just send you the one totally accurate card.
Right, the one voter registration card that you have that tells you everything. Is that what you're talking about there?
Right.
Okay, and that tells you where you're supposed to vote, and it tells you, it gives you your address and all that other kind of jazz. Now, you say you want to mail them out once, but there is a possibility that this thing could go back and forth lawsuit-wise and could mess all that up.
Yeah, if you just look at the history of the year that we redistrict or the couple of years after, there's oftentimes litigation that will ultimately get resolved, but in the meantime, what we see now might ultimately be what we get, but it may be some delays until we get there. So yeah, we want to jump and implement this right now. However, we know there's going to be litigation that might string this out a little bit longer.
All right, and when it comes to registering to vote, do we need to re-register? Does anybody need to do that kind of thing?
Right, there's absolutely nothing that any voter needs to do. This is all a back-end process that we do. We know where you are. We know your address, your geocode point, and we craft this. We draw these districts around you. So there's no re-registration. You're just going to go vote at the same place you always have, and we'll make sure that the right districts are there assigned to you.
Now, this is a follow-up to that question that someone just texted in. They said, I moved within the city. Do I need to update my address?
Yes. If you've moved within Guilford County, we do need you to update your address, and there's a lot of different ways. You can get a form off of our website. If you go to and change your address with the DMV, you can actually do it then, which will be very convenient and kill two birds with one stone. And another easy method is the voter ID card that we have sent you that you can carry around in your wallet or whatever. It's got a little mini form on the back. You can fill that out and send it in. So there's a lot of different ways, but if you have moved within the county, we need that address updated. You're still registered. Mm-hmm. We just need the updated address.
Right, because you could be voting somewhere different, even though it's like a street or, a couple streets away.
Oh yeah, there's so many different district lines, whether it's U.S. House, School Board, your City Council. There's so many different lines that can crisscross that just moving across the street sometimes can put you in a different district.
All right, this person is asking, and this is a very common question, do I need my license to register? And then they followed up with, and do I need my license to vote?
No and no. There's some caveats to that depending on a couple different circumstances. But when you do register to vote, you'll be asked to provide either the last 4 digits of your social security number or your driver's license number. And if you provide those, you're not going to need anything when you come to vote. And in North Carolina, we don't have this photo ID law right now. There's some litigation around that, but right now that is not a requirement to vote.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so this next question is about March. And so that, of course, is when the primary will be. And they say, do you need volunteers for March?
Maybe we will. We don't take volunteers. These are paid poll workers, and yeah, we're going to need some names. So it's great if you want to give us a contact, and we can get in touch and see what role we can put you in. And March 8th is the date. Again, traditionally we've had some changes in this date when you do get into litigation, but as of now, we're March 8th.
As of now, March 8th for the primary for next year. And how far in advance? You to take your text questions. You can continue to text those questions. We're going to be back in just 2 minutes.